Hi, welcome back. This is not the car we're going to build. This was my original build of mint condition Kevin Hart's awesome Corvette C1 that underneath is something much more aggressive. And this is how it was for the musical garage tour and the build video. And whilst it looks good, it's based on the Coquette Blackfin. That car's based on a bit of Austin Healey, all sorts of different Corvettes. A roadster shop sketch of something much more aggressive, and the end result is it doesn't look a lot like the C1 that we're trying to build. But now with the DLC we have the Coquette D1, and it's $1.5 million. It's not cheap, let's face it, and I think I got that Blackfin free on a wheel or something, but even so I think we need to buy one and we need to rebuild mint condition. And this build of course is going to be valid for just about any C1 Corvette with just changes to colours and things. So that's the money spent, and I think by the miracle of editing we'll find it's already delivered and about to go under the knife. Okay, let's see if we can get this D1 to look better than the Blackfin for Kevin's car, and at first glance I'm sure it will. Now I was supposed to start with the stock car, but it turns out I accidentally forgot to push record when I did it, so a few basic options are already done, but the main customization is not. So armour's at 4, brakes I'm leaving for the moment. On the front bumper, I think this stock front bumper, despite the way these join in slightly, is the closest we're going to get, because we don't want it deleted and we don't want the torpedoes. For the rear bumper we do want to change it. The torpedo rear bumper with these vertical pieces, torpedoes are here, these are the exhausts. I think that one is the closest, and neither bumper looks as nice as the real car though. Engine I already put to 4. I didn't know until 10 minutes ago that the C1 Corvette exhaust comes through the bumper. I think what a wonderful, elegant solution. I absolutely love that. And stock is therefore what we want. The rest of them are all separate exhausts that we don't want. Headlight covers are simply stock. Otherwise you get one or two tasteful examples like this, and then some tasteless examples like that. For the grille, if you take a good look at it, these blades here stop just before the top. There's a lot of depth to the blade. That is very close to the one on Kevin's car, and presumably the stock Corvette. We don't want to delete it, and the only other one that looks close is this, but it's certainly not the right one. Hood again, stock, so this is a pretty easy build, isn't it? And there's other options again, tasteful, tasteless, some perhaps from drag cars. For the lights, even the stock lights have a bit of a bluey tinge as if they've been upgraded, and I would imagine that mint condition does have upgraded lights, so I'm just going to leave it. I don't want to go even bluer on the xenons. Liveries, not putting one on, but DLC car, so let's just flip through these. Stripes, that's a very unique sort of stripe in that colour. We've also got lowrider type stuff. Then we've got these 2 racing liveries which fascinate me. I'm thinking there probably are, if I look, race cars with a similar livery, and I'm so tempted by one of those. Mirrors, well, we've got 2 where we should have 1, but the stock ones are by far the closest in shape and position. For the plate, I've already put mine on. I tried to put Vet on, I tried to make it for all my Corvettes, but the system has gone funny again, but it's at least allowing me to have all 30 plates now. For the respray, of course, it would be the same crew colour that I used last time, and that should be on the screen. So that's a really great colour, and we then put on silver for the pearlescent. It needs quite a pearlescent push, as you can see from the photographs. And the secondary is a metallic ice white, and you know, I love this colour combination. And the lovely thing is, if you don't lower the car like we're going to, it just looks like a stock one. You could just use these colours anyway for a C1 Corvette, so gorgeous combination. Inside, well, we couldn't colour the Blackfin, but we can colour this one. It's a gorgeous colour inside Kevin's, and I don't almost know whether to go cream or bleached brown. I am going to go cream though. You can have a roll cage in both colours, which is nice, but we don't want it. We obviously want to get rid of the roof, and again, Look how good this looks with the roof off, smooth behind the driver, same as Kevin's, not like the Blackfin. Suspension I talked about, something like Sport, with the top of the tyres just disappearing into the arches. That is the height of mint condition, and it's the one thing on the car that really stops Kevin's vastly resto-modded car. I mean, it's completely different underneath. It's the one thing perhaps that stops his looking totally original, is the stance of the car. Not doing the transmission at the moment. The trim is this on the side, where you can get rid of the chrome pieces, which we don't want to, or even colour it primary, which is interesting, but we don't want to, so that's stock. Some very classy trunk accessories that do look all in period apart from that one. I don't even understand the concept of retro antenna. It's a bit of an oxymoron, but still, we're going stock. We would never turbo this car. And the wheels, well, just like the first car I did from this, the Bentley, we've got stock wheels that are just bang on. Look at these with the perfect white walls, the perfect. I can't see why anybody would change these unless they were literally building perhaps a race car or something that came with different wheels from the factory. Wonderful looking. So that completes the build of mint condition, and you could of course substitute any colour really onto where I had the crew colour, and perhaps lift the suspension a bit to make a pretty much stock Corvette. And of course you would be making effectively one of the earlier ones because of the single lights. Okay, by the magic of editing, we got the two together. I really don't think there's much comparison here. The D1, whilst it's not the spitting image, of course, of the Corvette C1, it's so much closer. And for this to be Kevin's car, despite the missing pair of headlights, I am so pleased compared with the other one. So Rockstar, can we have a C2 now? A C2 that looks like a C2 instead of a C2 that looks a bit like a C2, a bit like a C3, and a bit like none of them at all, and quite a bit like a Corvette Grand Sport. That would be really great. But anyway, let's go out and see how it drives. Okay, let's take this out for some driving impressions and a last look in the sun. Yes, I'll buy one later, Maud. She doesn't get it, does she? The cars are the most important bit, and I've only got 2 of those so far. Okay, so we just have a quick last look. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this. The Blackfin will be sold because I don't really have any use for it, and as I mentioned at the start, it's such sort of bits of the car, bits of this, bits of that. This does sound to me very similar to the Blackfin. I don't know if they use the same exhaust note, but I do enjoy the exhaust note, and I won't have to miss that with this car. Not sure if it feels quite as quick, but you know, not every car has to be super quick, does it? We have got hundreds and hundreds of them. I don't know what a real C1 Corvette handles like, but this probably feels a bit tauter, I imagine, than a car from the 50s, but I'm sure that Kevin's one would feel tauter anyway. And as long as you just chuck it in a bit, there's a little bit of tail-out action, but it's not. This is not a drifty sort of car. It seems to be very well pinned down, actually a little bit like that Bentley that I drove. It's not really upset by the bumps. Yeah, this is a very pleasant drive. So if you're into your classic cars, I think that's a big if, isn't it? Then I think that this at 1.5 million would make a very nice addition to your collection. So, you know, this can go in a film star collection, a Chevrolet collection, classic car collection. You could do a lot with this. So there we are. Don't forget to push like if you did like this. That would be so much appreciated. Sub if you like real cars in GTA. But above all, thank you so much for watching.